Hello, and welcome to a very special edition of Couture Night. I am your host, Laura. Tonight is special because we are responding to questions from our fans, one named Jonathan and the other named Jonathan. Now, why do I have a scarf wrapped around my head and a clown-level amount of makeup around my eyes, you may ask? Also, why, oh yes, you are seeing this, why do I have this sword that I can't open because it belongs to my husband and I don't know how? That is because the first Jonathan requested that I give the final conclusion to the debate. What has more of a cool factor? Pirates or ninjas? Pirate, ninja, and pirate. Ninja, because it's straight. And pirates use those swords that have the curve and the psh. So, before we get into the fantasy world of pirates versus ninjas, I actually did about an hour's research on famous pirates, famous ninjas, and found some I think worth talking about. Okay, first we're going to talk about ninjas. They're also referred to as the shinobi. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. Now, real ninjas were both mercenaries, but also were hired by Japan, like the government of Japan, during times of conflict. It's like, hey, talented criminal, come help us. We're in a time of war. We don't care that you are supposed to be in jail. You're talented. Come. Okay, and another thing I noticed about the ninjas is that the famous ones almost all were born into samurai families. So, why did these to-be samurai leave and become ninjas? They're kind of like punks. They're like punk samurai. And because they didn't follow the strict code of honor that samurai did, as hopefully, I assume we all know, they were lower on the caste system. By 1868, I don't even know if there were any samurai left, but there were no ninjas left, and they were considered a myth. A few famous ninjas. Once again, forgive me for the pronunciation. Fujibayashi Nagato. He was the leader of most of the ninjas in the 16th century. Big dude, hired by the federal government. Yeah, very notable. He was part of a samurai family. Hattori Hanzo. Yeah, see? I really did take notes. Next, I think I already said his name, Hattori Hanzo. His family was of the samurai from the Iga domain, as was Fujibayashi Nagato. But he served as ninja during Japan's Sengoku period when they needed help. And he's one of the most legendary ninjas of all time in the whole world. If you go to a store and get a manga, he is now a superhero. So that dude, he like led everybody. Kind of like, I think of him like as in, the movie Mulan, when the guy's like, oh, we're going to invade China. And everybody follows him. Oh! They were Huns, but like everybody followed Hanzo. So he's a superhero now. Yeah, ninjas, they're like punk samurai. And they seem a lot faster. Alright, now, real pirates, before we get into the fantasy world. Some real pirates that I found worth noting are the Barbarossa brothers, which stands for Redbeard. You've heard of Redbeard the pirate, right? They were captured by vessels in the Mediterranean Sea and basically like enslaved by the Ottomans in 1516. But then the Ottoman leader died, and Redbeard took over and fought ships that were actually sent by the Pope to get rid of the pirates. So that's why, you know, he's a really cool dude. Even though Redbeard, he's a ginger, which means, of course, he has no soul, as we all know. But pretty cool dude. Sir Francis Drake. He doesn't even sound like a pirate. I mean, he's Sir Francis Drake. And the reason he is Sir is because he was a pirate for a while, and then he was so, you know, good at what he did criminally that Queen Elizabeth hired him. And he had a voyage from 1577 to 1580, which was the first English captain to circumnavigate the globe. Queen Elizabeth knew what she was doing. She's like, this dude is a criminal, but he's got more skills than any of these legal guys. I'm going to make him legal and get it done. Alright, the last one we have to mention because he's, you know, you learn about him by the time you're in kindergarten. Blackbeard. His real name was Edward Teach. Now, the reason that he is so legendary, I really don't know what he accomplished, but he was legendary because he intimidated his enemies by coiling smoking fuses and multiple pistols and daggers into his giant beard and like swinging it around. I mean, who wouldn't be afraid of that? Right? Right. Alright. So those are the real pirates and ninjas. Let's finish talking about pirates. Okay. The real world of pirates. They are on ships for who knows how many weeks or months. Were there even females? Probably a few, but really I think that's just like movies and stuff, because to have a movie nowadays there has to be some kind of romance or, you know, whatever you want to call it. But you know what I thought about is even in like really old paintings, the pirates always had like too much eyeliner. And I doubt these criminals searching and burying gold and killing people took time in the morning to put eyeliner on. So my latest theory is they were so greasy and gross and dirty from being on the sea that it's like a collection of dirt and oil and salt water, and they just missed a spot. And it all kind of grunged up around their eyes. And maybe they have this eyeliner behind their ears and between their toes too. And that's why all pirates have this eyeliner on. But in the fantasy world, and the movies and the books, it's just like, oh, we're cool and dark. Look at our eyeliner. It's Maybelline. I don't know if I have a right to say a brand name. Anyways, so that's something about pirates. Legendary, you know, like the ninjas we think of now. They come in from the ceiling and they do partially that's correct. Karate is amazing. Some of them are ex-samurai, gone without the honor. So yeah, they could do some incredible things. I don't know too much. I don't read comics. I don't know about, I'm so sorry, Jonathan, I don't know about the memes that you said took away my nerd card. But I mean, check out what I did for my costume. That earns me a little credit back, right? So both of them were punks. And sorry to, I hope I'm not letting you down, but I think ninjas win in the cool factor. Because pirates, they are just, let's get on a ship and steal and kill people. We're gross. I don't take showers. Whereas ninjas, I mean, they're from Japan. Japan was so far ahead of everybody else, and they are so graceful. And even though that they, you know, they killed a lot of people too, they're ninjas. They almost all came from the samurai. They're samurai punks. They are criminals, but man, ninjas are awesome. So, First Jonathan, that concludes ninjas win. Second Jonathan. He has a question that is a little bit awkward, but I have to admit I've asked myself that many times. I've even asked my mom, why do we do this? And his question is, why are people comfortable in walking around in bathing suits but uncomfortable walking around in their underwear? Be it, men or women. No man walks outside in his boxers, but that's what some trunks are, just a different fabric. Women don't walk around in their underwear and a bra, but they wear swimsuits. And I've thought about this for a while. Jonathan asked me this 2 days ago. And I think it's the whole, it's what happens to humans in anything. We get numbed down little by little. We have a little, and then that's nothing, and then we want more and more and more. Shorts, skirts get shorter, shorts get shorter, shirts go lower, makeup gets darker. We want more, we want more, we want more. I mean, in France, they even stopped wearing bathing suits. Go to California, see what they do. I think the reason, we're uncomfortable in our underwear is because that's not socially acceptable. The reason we are comfortable in our bathing suits is, was it in the 20s when people wore like shorts and the striped trunks and stuff, men or women, and that was considered awkward. Now you see women wearing these like triangle things where I personally would, if you do, that's fine, but I feel I would only want my husband to see me like that. I do have a two-piece bathing suit, but it covers everything that men and women do not both have. I think that's how it should be. I think if you have, things that involve romance, it should be with your one romance. That's why things underneath my bathing suit, only for my husband. But if someone sees my belly button, everybody has a belly button. I don't really care. To answer your question, Jonathan, I think it's mainly just because that's what society currently says is cool. And, 10 years ago, a one piece, or 20 years ago, a one piece that was like a V-neck was like, whoa, that's sleazy. And now look at what we're wearing. So who knows where we'll be in 10 years. Maybe we'll be like France. So yeah, I think we just get numb, and that's how it happens, little by little. So, that is our episode tonight. I hope you enjoyed my costume. I'm going to go wash my face and eat dinner. Good night. Let me know if you have any more questions.